All right, I've got another power word for you guys today. Today, we are going to talk about being magnetic. Magnetic is this word that I've absolutely fallen in love with. I have to give inspirational credit here to conversations that I've had with my business bestie, Angie McPherson, who has just launched her own podcast, The Angie McPherson Show. And our coach, James Wedmore, has been recently talking a lot about being magnetic. And it's just had this beautiful ripple effect of conversations between Angie and I. And there's a reason why this felt really urgent to share on the podcast. That's kind of funny because you guys know I like to bring everything full circle. So I will get to that in just a second. But we will link Angie's podcast episode and James Wedmore's podcast in the show notes because I just want to shout them out from the rooftops because I love them so much. And this was definitely an inspired topic. And I'm going to be pulling my self-development tools from all the bags for this episode. But it is also just timely and funny. And I just love this word magnetic so much. So this is episode 144. So to go to those show notes, you're going to go to elizabethhenson.co/E144. And let's get started because I've got a funny story for you. Welcome back to the Messy Success Podcast. I'm your host, Elizabeth Henson. This podcast is your space, your corner of the world to be messy, creative, and ambitious as you want to be. I'm incredibly passionate about helping people do what they love and make a living doing it. We all know that is a messy process, but the messy imperfection, the messy success is what makes it all so beautiful. I'm here to help you build community around your brand so that marketing is easy. There's no such thing as a self-made millionaire, in my opinion. We're all in this together. We shine the light on others, focus on leadership, and our theme here for 2024 is the 1% adventure, where we're getting 1% better every single day. So what do you say we get started? All right, so let's get into this power word, magnetic. And what is so funny to me about this, I don't know if it's funny. It's, I shared recently on Instagram that if you're not cringing at your old content, then you're not growing. But one of my very first freebie, I think this was my second freebie ever. When I say freebie, I mean lead magnet, one of those like digital downloads where you give people your email address. Okay, we all know what email marketing is and all that. But anytime you sign up for something that's free in exchange for giving them your email, that's a freebie. And Angie and I both were like, we keep laughing. Like we were so ahead of our time. Like we were figuring all this email newsletter marketing stuff out like well before a lot of photographers and wedding industry pros in our area. And here we are like just in the digital marketing space, like so deep now we're swimming in it. But it's just the learning curves are so fun to reflect on. But my second freebie ever was how to become a people magnet. Okay. And this must have been like 7 years ago. I'm guessing. I don't have a timestamp on it because it's in Canva, and I don't think Canva will tell you like when something was created. But my very first freebie ever was 25 networking tips. I don't know where that one is either. I could probably pull it out of the archives, but that one did really well. Like, download these 25 networking tips, and I built my email list. And then the second one I ever created was how to become a people magnet. And this one was the networking one was like a one pager. This was like an actual PDF guide. And it's so funny looking back on it because, it's a little cringy. Like the person that I am now would say these things so differently. Like here's one bullet point, change your mindset. Oh, that makes me cringe when people just say, fix your mindset, change your mindset, all the mindset stuff, right? Like you'll find me now talking about this way of being because it's not just changing our mindset. It's like if it was that easy, everybody would do it. Like, oh, if I just think positive thoughts, it's so much more than that, you guys. It's learning to embody specific characteristics. That's what people mean when they say change your mindset, but they don't really know how to teach it or how to pay it forward. But I just thought it was so funny having these conversations around being magnetic and then like knowing that this old cringy version of myself that was still helping people. Let's not devalue the fact that there's always people that need our help no matter what stage that we're in. And I created this, how to be a people magnet freebie. So today I'm going to actually talk about modern day Liz ways to become magnetic. We're not going to spend too much time reminiscing about my freebie, but I just love this example of this is who I've always been, right? Like people in my life, my husband included, will be like, man, like you've changed so much. And I really haven't. I mean, more than a decade ago, I was coaching high school students, in the sport of field hockey. But I was really helping them in this game of life. And I was a tough, no nonsense coach. Like I would not make it today. I would be fired. Like the direction that our school system is going, there's no way I would still be around. But it was really good for the kids and it was really good for me too. But that's the same person I am now. I've just learned how to be hard and how to be firm in a less obvious way, I guess. I've just evolved so much, but I am coaching grownups on, how to market their business and how to show up for their wildest dreams and their businesses is really no different than teaching a high school kid how to play a sport and the kind of like self-development roles that are infused in all of that, right? Like the kids would come up to me saying they want to be team captain. Okay, great. Let's talk about how you can become magnetic and win the vote of all your teammates. Like it's the same. It's all leadership skills. It's all self-development. It all kind of comes from the same North Star that is just infused in who I am as a human being. And I just want to be this like walking space that makes the people around me show up for themselves, for their dreams. So I love when I have these moments that just remind me, this is who you've always been. And of course I'm changing and evolving and we all want to change and evolve, right? But it's just always really cool to see even like examples when I was a kid or when I played hockey and I shared, a lot of that vulnerable stuff on the podcast. This is always who I've been. I'm just getting better and I'm learning and it's so great. So shout out to my friend Angie for some of these conversations around this magnetic energy. And of course, shout out to James, who's also been talking a lot about becoming magnetic. And let's get into 5 ways that you can become more magnetic today. Because yes, I like laughing at myself and reminiscing, but while you're here, while you're listening to the Messy Success podcast, I always want you to walk away from each episode with something you can do right away or a quote or a moment that really lands with you that changes something, that sparks something. And it means so much to me when you guys reach out to me on Instagram and say, that landed. I forget which episode it was. It might have been the one around resistance where I got a few messages where people were like, that really helped me. So that's why I'm here. I want this to help you. We can laugh about my freebie journey later. So let's talk about 5 ways to become more magnetic that you can do today. So number 1 is nothing new around these community building parts. It is to cast your vision. Simon Sinek says it as start with why, right? There's a million different ways to say cast your vision, share your mission, start with why. But when you can clearly define your why, people will resonate with that purpose and they're going to be naturally drawn to you because they're in agreement with your purpose, right? So even if I decided to go get a 9 to 5, I would still be attracted to my business coaches because of their why and their purpose. Maybe I don't need the X's and O's that they're teaching, but I'm still aligned on that value level, that heart-centered space of why they do what they do, right? This is why we stay loyal to certain companies sometimes, because we really believe in their mission. So share your mission, share your purpose, share your why, whatever you want to call it. I call it casting your vision in my course, in, all of the places that I teach the things. I call it casting your vision. So that is number 1. Number 2 is that authentic and vulnerability stuff, right? Being your true self. Angie speaks about this in the way of having a personal brand, right? When you're open and fully expressed, it's so much easier to create common ground and general connections with other people. And there's something about this authenticity, and we all know that was a buzzword a couple of years ago, and now people are kind of tired of hearing about it. But there's something there in that authenticity, I like to say fully expressed, where people appreciate and relate to like your realness, right? And I've gotten messages from like my amazing friend Marvin, who's like, you're always just so real and authentic. And I love that. And I think the podcast is the place where I'm the most real because I don't do multiple takes. I don't edit these to make them perfect. I'm talking to you guys as if you're sitting at the dinner table with me. I don't have the ability to listen back. So I just go on and on and on, but it's harder to show up that beautifully authentic on social media or like in my writing, because I tend to get in my head more like we all do. I don't know, but there's definitely something there with just being truly who you are. Good, bad, ugly, mistakes, doesn't matter. But being truly who you are that people are drawn to. And that's why it's like perfection is the enemy. That's why we want to share our journey. So a lot of times when I speak of being authentic, what I'm really saying is share the journey, like share the messy parts. Don't just show up one day, I wrote a book. We need to be talking to people about that book for the 2 years that you're writing it. Get them invested in that messy journey. People want to see us fail just as much as they want to see us succeed. But as long as they're watching, we're winning, right? So it's okay for it to be ugly. It's okay for it to be messy, hence the Messy Success podcast. But that authentic, that genuine piece, that is number 2. Number 3 is fostering this environment, this culture of support and encouragement. And I don't mean cheerleading, right? Like the bullet point I have for this is like lifting others up, but that's a little generic. That's a little bit cheerleading. It's more, how can you be the person that helps others grow and succeed? So magnetic individuals are really focused on the success of those around them and creating that environment, right? If you contribute to the success of other people, you become magnetic to collaboration and positive energy as a whole. People want to be around you because they know they're more likely to be seen and heard, right? It's that environment that you create just by being in the room and focusing on the success of others. So we can call this creating a space where everyone feels heard, lifting others up, rising tide lifts all boats, all those things. But most importantly, it's really being committed to the success of others. And that doesn't mean do it for them. In fact, it kind of means not doing it for them and advocating for them to have their own mistakes and figure out their own journey, but really holding space for that dream that they have. Okay, the next one of my favorites, is self-development and improvement, right? Leaders, the most magnetic individuals, have this mindset of constant growth, being a lifelong student. I was at a business get together recently and we had to write something on the board that we love about ourselves. And I actually wrote, I'm a lifelong learner. Like, I have learned to love that about myself because I admire it so much in other people. So when we're curious, when we're seeking out new things, when we're open to change, when we're open to just learning, when we're open to trying something on, we don't have to agree. And just because we let somebody else be right doesn't mean that we're wrong. So I have this whole fresh perspective on learning personally and professionally that, just makes whoever like magnetic for growth. And when you're magnetic for growth, for opportunity, you're open. People want to be around you because they know they grow, they get better. Okay. So that continuous lifelong learning piece and being open to sharing that. Like, I'm not just reading books like in my closet and then showing up the next day like, oh, I'm so smart, but like not telling anybody that I read the books or that I learned the things, right? Like sharing, I learned this cool trick. Hey, look how much I've grown in the last 7 years when it comes to helping people become magnetic, right? Like all the things that I've learned have made me even better. So that's number 4, is continuous learning and improvement. And the last one is just to prioritize service over promotion. And Simon Sinek talks about this one a lot too, like the serve before you sell. But when you're genuinely focused on helping others succeed or helping them solve their problems, you're going to attract people who appreciate that, right? That service-oriented approach and really helping people. And I love this because I've just recently started going to a lot more in-person things in my area. And I was telling Angie, I was like, why did I forget how simple this was? Like, I built my entire photography business by simply networking in my local area. Because obviously I wanted photography business in my local area, but I would just go anywhere and everywhere that I could go to meet people. And I would help them. I would offer to do their headshots. I would offer to photograph their venue. Whatever I could do to offer help and extend my service, I was doing it. And that's what grew my photography business so freaking fast. And then I took on this online digital marketing world where it no longer matters if my people are local. But I forgot how powerful having that service first mentality locally, how powerful that can be. I mean, I went to one event last week and left with like 6 new business contacts and friends. Like, that's not happening just on social media. Like, the build trust that quickly when you can shake a person's hand, when you can share a meal, when you can do a self-development activity or meditation together, like that expedites the process, which again, little plug for Elevate Inspire event, because we're expediting that process that online takes so long to get from point A to point B of like trust and relationship and collaboration. But when you meet someone in person and you can truly serve them, it really expedites that from 0 to 10 so much faster. And it's been so refreshing for me to get back in person and to just meet a random person and just say, how can I help? How can I help your mission? And to do that with no ulterior motive to sell, with no ulterior motive, to have them join my program, but like genuinely just to help them, because that's who I am. And that has felt really good. So that is the 5th bullet point, is that prioritizing of service. Another thing I heard about this was if you can take one person and help them achieve their 90-day goal, you just become laser focused on their intention and their 90-day goal. And whatever you can do to help them hit that, that's going to build your business faster than anything else. And I just think that's so cool. It's like, let's all go out and do a 90-day challenge where we find one person and we help that one person hit their 90-day goal. I think that would be amazing. What do you think? Let me know. So those are the 5 ways to become more magnetic, to cast your vision, to show up fully expressed or authentic, to focus on lifting others up, that continuous learning and improvement, and then, of course, serving before we sell, self-service first. So I hope that was helpful. I hope you guys are enjoying the word magnetic as much as I am this year. And let me know your thoughts. Let me know if this was helpful. Get out, do some work, help some people. Make sure you sign up for our Elevate and Inspire event. And once again, this is episode 144. So you can go to elizabethhenson.co/E144 for all the links and details. And thank you so much for listening. Please leave us a review on iTunes or share this episode with a friend. It would truly mean the world to us. Thank you. Thank you.